Good morning. Today we'll be reviewing Greasepit, a brand new character from Hasbro who, no, wait a minute. Who is this guy? Who is Greasepit? Oh, there he is. That's Greasepit. He was the little Micromaster from G1. That's right. And so today we're going to be reviewing not Greasepit, but the gas station that came with Greasepit. So Greasepit was the little guy, and then they named the gas station after him. So now gas station is Greasepit. That okay, got it. Okay, so yes, this is the Generation Selects repaint of Ironworks, who has been reimagined as the gas station Greasepit. So these are the new little Weaponizer figures that can make little bases. They are an homage to the original Micromaster bases from G1. And this little guy is not very different from Ironworks. In fact, it's the same mold, just painted differently, different colors. And of course, instead of a hook for a hand, he comes with these adorably cute little gas pumps. This is his gas pump weapon. Because of course it is, when you're a gas station Decepticon, you have to blow everybody away with oil and grease and vinegar. And he does have one other part that is different from Ironworks, and that would be his little gas station sign, which proudly promotes the kind of oil that's distributed here. Now the gas pump gun, this is just a joy for me. I can't get enough of this little thing. The rest of it is pretty much what you expect from this figure. It's got a lot of ramps and roads and convenience store windows for shoulders. Of course you do. The articulation is identical to Ironworks. It's got all the mod conveniences like tilting ankles and swiveling waist, swiveling head, swiveling everything. And don't get me wrong, this is very much, just in keeping with the rest of the Weaponizer figures. But for what this little guy can accomplish, it really is a feat. I mean, he does become a gas station and a robot and a tower, as you will see. And there's just an unending little torrent of things that you can do with this figure. Now, since Greasepit is the gas station, and we will inevitably get his little Micromaster partner renamed something else, the same way Ironworks was the construction station with the previous Ironworks renamed Iron Tread, I'm sure we'll get Greasepit, the original Greasepit, named something like Grease Convenience Store Clerk Attendant. So what I'm showing here is that you can absolutely use the Siege Earthrise blast effects to attach to the gas pump weapon, and you can imagine yourself attacking the Autobot nemesis of Greasepit and the other Decepticons with some sort of fluid projectile, because of course it's got to be some kind of oily weapon, shouldn't it? Of course it is. Since Greasepit doesn't have history, this is of course a brand new guy. We'll just give this guy his own history. I can make one up, why not? Greasepit, of course, was the high-ranking Decepticon general who proudly defended the convenience store, slushy drinks, ices, hot dogs, bananas, cigarettes, lotto tickets. He kept those all proudly at bay from the Autobot invaders. Bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Now, because Ironworks and Greasepit are nearly identical, the only thing keeping them different are their paint schemes and a couple of their weapons. They share much of their engineering. They only switch around parts, like you'll see the pipe on Ironworks' shoulder becoming the gun for Greasepit over here. And of course, the hook is replaced by the gas pumps, as previously mentioned. They both have ramps for legs, because of course they do. Ironworks is missing the little sign on the shoulder. And I forgot to put, oops, sorry about that, Greasepit. I forgot to put the other low ramp on Ironworks' back. This is the way it's supposed to be. But this is a good time to compare colors. You can see Greasepit's ramps are slightly lighter gray. They're made of the same material, but one of them is slightly lighter in color. I do believe Ironworks pulls off the ramp street road gimmick a little bit more convincingly, though. And because you're a Decepticon, you get your little symbol on your shoulder, whereas if you're an Autobot, you get it on your chest, even though you're pretty much the same guy. You go to the same gym, wear the same clothes nearly. Yeah. To compare the height, here is Greasepit next to Blowpipe, the Target Master. And we will now compare him to one of the tiniest little of the bunch. Here is Trigger Happy from Takara. Well, it's Trigger Happy's Headmaster from the Takara version of the Titan's Return figure. And of course, that was a Micromaster by the name of Daddy O. Here he is next to one of the Co-Neds, another Weaponizer ally slash foe. And here he is with one of the leader class figures from Titan's Return, Overlord. And he does pose a threatening shadow over Greasepit, doesn't he? I'm not going to go through the whole combination process of taking apart Greasepit and then reassembling him, because we just do not have the time, but I did want to show off what these bases look like when assembled. So this here is the tower that it's an homage to what the gas station could transform into from the G1 days, and it pulls it off somewhat convincingly. Honestly, this is not my favorite of the modes, but you can sit a little Decepticon like Trigger Happy in the basket, up on top like he's looking over a crow's nest of a pirate ship. Here's little Ape Face sitting up in his little shovel, as you do, ready for whatever may come. Now the whole setup is a little bit floppy. I mean, it's held together okay, but it is kind of flimsy. It's not like you're going to be moving these guys around a whole lot. You're probably going to be building a city out of them or something along of that sort. I do like the molded details. It does pull off the tower appearance a little bit more convincingly, so there's that. Here's another configuration. This is a ramp that is possible by both Greasepit and Ironworks, and I'm not 100% sold on this one either. It's very floppy and slippy, and well, it just does not hold up under any kind of weight. It looks okay. Here you can see how it's put together from all sides, so you can kind of get an idea of how you're supposed to assemble these pieces. And you can drive a little Micromaster up this ramp. I believe this one is direct hit. Yep, you can just go park here, fuel up, turn around, and head back home in time to greet the family for turkey dinner. Off you go. And you can see the details are rather nice. There's that convenience store again. So, yeah, it's just okay. And now we come to my favorite of the configurations. Here is the famous gas station, one of the four original little micromaster. In the world of micros, micromaster transformers are the only little bastards that can transform. Micromaster bases that you could get for your little playset, and I can just imagine a whole city being built. For comparison, here is Ironworks, just so you can get a sense of the scale of this figure and how your other little deluxe class figures will compare. They're not really scaled, of course, with this size. However, you can do some kind of Godzilla action here. Here's the Overlord again. And there he goes. And I'm just going to bring this in so that you guys can get a much better idea of what this looks like. So yeah, the head becomes the door of the convenience store, and the windows are what used to be the robot shoulders. It looks like they sell super gasoline here. Z1. Oh, that sounds good. And the way that the gas pumps are attached to the road is by these little knobs that are set aside on this one specific ramp, which is a real shame because I wish you could attach the gas pumps to other parts of the ramps, but really it's just this one. So he does have that one port, so you can attach him like a weapon, but otherwise the gas pumps aren't as universally adaptable to the other parts of this base. It's not bad. On thinking about it, the colors they chose for Greasepit do resemble the G1 character very closely, including the honeycomb-like chest pattern, which gives me that kind of weird fear you get when you look at things with a lot of holes in them. Now, as you can see, I struggled a lot to get the backdrop to standing, and I eventually gave up. We're going to now connect some Micromaster bases so you can see just the terrific play value of these vehicle ramps and figures. Construction zone. Now this little guy will be our little laboratory rat over here. His name is Daddy-O, but that's not going to do it for me because the original name was Big Daddy, and by Jove, I'll call it Big Daddy if I want to. Yep, so you can just imagine you are the king of the road. You can imagine your ape face going to pick up some beef jerky. And then just driving off like a badass in your little hot rod, just driving through the night like a demon in flight. Until, of course, you run out of road, in which case you need to have more road built for you. Of course you can, because Hasbro was, wise enough to come up with the idea to build connecting ramps. Thank you, sound barrier. Now then, what else can you do with these things? You could connect Astrotrain. Astrotrain is another great contender. I do appreciate that Astrotrain, being one of the last of the Siege line, also included the forethought of ramp integration with the Earthrise line, so there is play value that carries over there. For those that just thought of this setup as just a pointless backpack, I'm telling you, this is brilliance. Just look at this. You can set up the Astrotrain figure to blast off in train mode, no less, while in the vicinity of both the construction yard and the local gas station. And now, another configuration. Here is Astrotrain landing as you do in shuttle mode right on this little precipice, connecting to ramps, of course, and now you have the full view of a shuttle about to embark on its maiden voyage and having the luxury of a, a gas station within 10 meters of it. It looks like there's been a fire that's broken out. Yep, sparks and flame are shooting out. There's been an accident. Oh boy, oh my goodness. It's going to require a whole team of firefighters to put this one out, let me tell you. And just for fun, yes, you can weaponize your weaponizer. There are so many combinations you can do with these guys that showing them all off would be just an exercise in futility. But you can imagine to your heart's content just how these things can come together and the strange creatures you can come up with. And once you have put together all your little ramps and your little bases together, you can bring all your little Micromaster friends to play along. And of course, you can invite the little Titans, return Titan Masters for some added play value, because why not? You could really build a large city. I really do look forward to all the retools and the repaints that will no doubt be coming forth from the rest of the Earthrise and Generation Selects figures that will be coming out for Warforce Cybertron. And when you connect them to the Titans and the Titan ramps, that will just create even more play value, won't it? And of course, you can bring them over the Titans and play Godzilla and just stomp around and blow up these little convenience stores and step on these little cars. Well, I mean, you don't want to actually step on them, but you know what I mean. It really does flesh out the Micromaster line perfectly, and it does hold up really well. The one downside I would say is that any figure that is over deluxe size to Voyager size does have a bit of a problem integrating with the rest of the play style here. Oh well. So without further ado, thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do like what you see, then I will keep making more videos. Until next time, adieu. Have a good day.